Happy April Fools! This is Rob, and every April on this channel we do reviews of comedies throughout the entire month. A lot of them, classic comedies. And in addition to announcing that we're doing April Fool's Comedy Month again this year, I'm also announcing that I'm going to try and do something that I have not done in a long time, and that is I'm going to attempt to review an entire series featuring a classic comedy team. Now, a lot of my fellow YouTubers review quite a lot of DVDs from stars or directors, of course, famous ones. And I did used to do that when Brendan and I first started this channel way back when, 5 years ago. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to review all 13 films of the 20th century classic comedy team, the archaic Marx Brothers. There's Groucho.
I don't think you'd love me if I were poor.
I might, but I keep my mouth shut.
Chico.
If any of the parties participating in this contract are shown not to be in their right mind, the entire agreement is automatically nullified.
Well, I don't know.
It's all right. That's in every contract. That's what they call a sanity clause.
You can't fool me. There ain't no sanity clause.
Harpo.
When you want to see somebody, you gotta have the flesh. That's a flush. What I gonna do with the flush? A flesh. No flits. That's a flits. What I gonna do?
And of course, Zeppo.
Charles H. Hungadunga. Here, Hungadunga, and McCormick. Semicolon. How do you spell semicolon? All right, make it a comma.
As many of you longtime viewers know, I've reviewed many comedy teams on this channel, from very well-known ones like the Three Stooges and Laurel and Hardy to more forgotten ones like Clark and McCullough. And I haven't really reviewed too many Marx Brothers films, so for those of you that don't know who the Marx Brothers are, I'll try and do a quick little review about what they were all about. They were a very popular comedy team of brothers who did a stage act in the 1910s and then became big Broadway stars in the 1920s, and from 1929 to 1940... Sorry, I got my years mixed up. It's 1929 to 1949. They starred in a very successful series of film comedies. And each brother had a very distinct personality, and oftentimes they ended up poking fun at the rich, high society types at a time of the Great Depression when, people were struggling to make ends meet. And of course, the Marx Brothers also dealt with the hypocrisy of mankind. In my family, my mom was a big Marx Brothers fan, and my dad was a Three Stooges fan, so I grew up watching both comedy teams, and I've appreciated their work. I'll try and give you a quick crash course on the team, although I'm sure you can find information about them on their films on DVD or on Netflix. The act consisted of, Groucho. His real name was Julius. He had a painted-on mustache, and he walked around throwing one-liners and insulting people. There was also Chico, who I guess today would kind of be an Italian stereotype, but he was often portrayed as either a con artist or a dumb, stupid person. He oftentimes did dialogue routines with Groucho. There was also Harpo, who was probably one of the more surreal of the brothers. For those of you that remember the cartoon show Animaniacs, he was like Wacko Warner, pretty much. He pulled things out of his pockets like a phone. I remember in one film he pulled out a hot cup of coffee, and he also played the harp, hence his nickname, Harpo. His birth name was, I believe, Adolf, and he changed it to Arthur. Chico's real name was actually, I think, Leonard. And Harpo's character also ran around and chased women. He did not speak in the movies, and oftentimes he communicated either through pantomime or with his horn that he threw out. There were two younger brothers. There was Gummo and there was also Zeppo. Gummo was part of their stage routine, but he left to fight in World War I, and he later became a businessman. And Zeppo was their straight man, although many feel that his character was pretty much a parody of the leading man types in melodramatic stage plays at the time. But many people feel that Zeppo was an underrated brother. He left the act in 1933 to become an agent, and unlike the other brothers, he did not have the over-the-top comedic appearance. Zeppo just looked normal, and he was also not always given a lot to do, while the other brothers tended to dominate. Apparently, Zeppo was the funniest Marx brother off-screen, but when it came to ad-libbing on the spot, apparently his brothers were much faster at it than he was, and he often had a hard time keeping up. 5 of the Marx Brothers films were selected by the American Film Institute as among the top 100 comedies, with 2 of them, Duck Soup and Night at the Opera, in the top 12 spot. So I will try and review all 13 films this month, beginning with their 1929 film Coconuts. And if you have not seen a Marx Brothers film before and you want to get a taste of their work, I do recommend checking out these 5 films: Duck Soup, Night at the Opera, Horse Feathers, Animal Crackers, and A Night at Casablanca. But if you want to go ahead and watch all their films are on DVD. Their early films are available in the Marx Brothers Silver Screen Collection, and there's also the Marx Brothers Collection with their later films, and their last film, Love Happy, is also available by itself. So I'm going to try and review other comedies this month as well, besides the Marx Brothers, and I'm going to see if I can get Brendan and Dave on board with this too. So anyway, if you want to leave any comments about what I'm going to be doing this month, go right ahead and do it. Or if you're a big Marx Brothers fan, or you're excited, or whether you're not, post your comments. Thanks very much for your time.